Good traders. Hey, good morning. I know some places is morning, but it's already evening. Yeah? We start this by morning hours, but you see, gold actually has frustrated us so badly because we were expecting the prices actually to move even beyond that. But what do we see here? We see the prices just joking around this corner here, but at least you can see the move. And one thing that you really notice is this: is that still the market is going down. Okay, so still we are not yet out of that. So there is no rule that has been broken. The market is really waiting for this market to keep going, and one of the places that where I'm waiting for this market to break is this region here, 46. Okay, 46, we have already touched 2048. So I think the next round, the moment is actually going to touch these. I know we are going to 46. So once we hit that, we are moving to 46, and that is part that is going to be becoming very difficult to break. Okay, that is the part that is going to be difficult to break right now, but at least you can see the market is moving to one direction. Now we are 49. The market is doing good. The market is doing good. And remember, this is our buying zone here, and we are going to hold here for long. Trust me, we are going to get a lot of money when this market comes to this place. Yep. I got $137 here, $140. This is a market this is actually the entry that we placed all together, and I think the worst entry, you just see like that we ended at 58, and I think the worst where the market has actually just touched is around we touched around 63. We touched 63. That is the most, like $5 up. That is where we actually placed, but actually this market is going to move down, as you can tell from this. So this market is not yet to move up. This market is still on the downside. Okay, so if you're probably thinking, unless maybe you are scalping from this market, but I'm still be waiting to see this market moving down, and that is what I want to get from this market. You can see there are some alerts that I've created on the chart, and that's why I'm waiting to see break out of this. But I want to get 150 here and close, because at least it is to secure this something out of the pocket, because of just to any time of the distress, that is to give me any time of distress for today. But at least this is 150. So for those probably entered around 58, this is 58, and now we are 51, and that's how this market moved. But still, I'm waiting to see how this market is going to be reacting there, because I hope this market might actually be moving all the way down to 50s, 46, and all the way down to 30s, where we have placed our buy positions, and that is what we can actually be getting from this market. So it's very valid. So the point that we have there is actually very valid. So this point there are very valid for buy. So the market, it's very possible for it to touch those points that we have there. Very possible might be getting to those zone anytime, probably today. And once we get to these areas here, make sure that you have set your alert, because you can see now the next part that you're going to be having is 45, and that is one going to be very difficult to break. And once we have this, then we are going to be moving all the way down like that. Remember, we end a sell that happened at 58. We sold at 58, and now you can see I'll be closing at least on $50 here. exactly just like this. I have $160, that is 160. Just look at that, 160. So I'm going to close 160. I want $70 already. The market is moving down. The market is moving down. The market will move down. Trust me on that. And that is what we're going to be getting from this market. So once I get some $50, $160 here, I'm going to be closing this trade anytime, and then I'll be waiting for this market to come to this zone so that I can enter 3 times of my position that I actually entered around this zone here. So I close this trend, and now we just wait for the market. I have secured some profit here, $160 that I'm be waiting to see how the market is going to be reacting from that. But be sure when this market touches 30, in between that 3 and that 320, get yourself ready to have some entries. And now just look at that. Look at these. We are 45. We are 45, and my alerts, every alert that I have placed in the market is right now ringing. We are 347. 347, that is what we are talking about. Now this is going to become a difficult area. This is going to become one of the difficult areas that we are talking about here. You see this point here, 45. This is going to be hard to break. We are 46. Just look how the market is moving, and once we hit this, then there's going to be a reaction. But I hope we break this and move all the way down. Boom! Just look at that, 44. We are 44, and the market is moving down. I wish I could have just held some of those trends, but no regret. Those is not my part. My part of where I have entries, that was actually a by the way. But for those who are trading this, just look at that. Just look at how this market is doing, 43. And once we get that is here around this position here, we are going to buy. This is what we've been waiting for whole day. This is what we've been waiting for the whole day, to get this point here, that is and 20, so that if this will place some buys here. And I'm waiting for this market, this candle, not to close below this point that I've actually highlighted here. Is going to be very important, because I don't want restrictions. Now we are talking about that 342. We are talking about that 342 where the market is ending. $10 in, and then we actually start entering in from this point here. Okay, so it has been a very, very, very long day, and still we are here. That is what I was talking about. Sometimes you can actually enter like a sell from that point, but for you it's actually going to be very risky, and sometimes it's actually going to drive the emotions so badly, especially for some traders. Our entry for sell was actually that 58, and now you can see we're talking about that 343 right here. So those could actually have been good amount of money that could have made around that area. I opened just one position of 0.2 position, but on now I'm going to be waiting for the market to come to this point here, and then I'm going to be having buy positions around that corner. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be good when we place the trends here and buys across that here. When buy from that point, we are going to hold until the market actually touches new high, which means we are going to hold $100 up of the gold that we're going to be having right there. The candle that I'm waiting to see, this candle that you see here, I hope it closes below that line that I've drew there, because that is most important as well. Okay, so let's just observe this market. So when that market comes to that zone, ensure that you place some buys. That is going to help you, and that is actually we're going to hold that up tomorrow, and we're going to see how the market is going to pay. Okay, Amala Shanzan is here. So for those who are here in the morning, that was our analysis that we did, that the market is going to be moving down, and exactly the market was trending around 60s, and now you can see we are down. I really did not encourage you actually to enter a sell from that point, but I myself just decided to sell the market, to short, and now you can see the market is moving down with force. And now I'll be waiting to see this point, the market coming to that is. So if you are on a buy, I told you avoid buys at all, because now the market was actually not yet done with going down. And what I can say from this, we are not yet out of the wood. So make sure you stay and observe and wait for this market to come to this zone. It's actually going to be something good. When the market comes to that point, won't be ready to be buying from that zone. And because now I'm not here. I want you, when this market come to this zone, you can set your alerts around 32, around 35, such that when this market come to this area here, you can actually have some entries. Okay, now I want with that one, I'll see you again tomorrow 10 a.m. That is the time you're going to be having the analysis and to see what actually happened, because now the market is moving to one direction. Is it really going to move up to the place where we are talking about here? And when it comes to this zone, are we really going to have this market moving up? But first, I don't want you to see this shadow here in the 1 or 50. This is 15-minute time frame. On a 1 hour time frame, I want to see these candles actually closing below this. That is what I want to see. That is what I want to see. That's why you see there's some reactions here, 45, all that. But I want to see this market moving all the way down like that. But we might get back to 50, then continue to move all the way down. The downside is not yet finished, so we might be moving right there. For those who are here from morning, that is where we'll be talking about here. Now, for those who are okay, I see the question here: where will you place the stop loss? Our stop loss will actually be located around, our entry is actually going to be at the zone, our end will be this actually will be 30s. Remember, now we are going to be targeting big. I want us to, let me show you first of all our exit position. So this is actually going to be around 20. Entry is going to be 25. So when we talk about 25, we are going to go all the way to 34, and that will be almost $80. Okay, that will be $80 move. Our exit position is actually going to just be $20, just $20 below that, and I want us to place at 33. It's going to be at around 33.00 and 33.97. That is just a $20 move towards the downside. So make sure that you do a good risk management for that. But remember, for this move that you're going to be getting here, we're going to hold all the way to 34. So you can see that's very big move. That's why we only focus on the big move that we normally get from the market. That is the big move that we are going to be having from this market. So a stop loss of 33, a entry of that 330 and that 320, but exit of TP all the way to 34. So once the market hit 34 plus, you can start closing your position from there. That is what we are going to be targeting from going onwards. So tomorrow again we are going to resume on this. I hope the market touches this, and when the market goes to our area, I won't be having my positions open. For those who are not here, I know some people are amazing already, probably they're in job or something, but I know they actually captured our analysis in the morning. They will be actually here tomorrow morning so that we can see where we left and resume where we left, so that at least we can take from there and see how much amount of money we made from that, how gold will actually have moved in case of any changes. We'll just talk about that. But still, my alert now, I said, around this area, I've already secured some profit, so I really don't forget about that. 160, my exit was around 50, and now this market continues to move down. Just look at that, continues to move down. We are talking about that 341. We are talking about that 341, and it's actually even going to do even more than that, all the way to that. Is I'm not telling you to sell, but what we say is that just own and wait for the market to come to your point where you are waiting for it to come, so that when the market comes to there, that is where I have the confidence of giving most of my entries. Yeah, apart from the one that I sold from 58. I just owned there so that I show you that I really have confidence that this market is going to move down. So let's wait to see how gold is going to be reacting when it comes down all the way to that 330 or between that 320. That is going to be very important key zone. Okay, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, turn on notification bell, so that when I come back live again here, you'll be notified. For now, I just have some few errands to run. I'll see you again. Happy trading. At least you see now, our analysis was correct here. Our analysis was really correct around that area, because we are talking about the prices moving up from 60s, and now we are talking about 40s. Now our stop loss, we said, is going to be below 33, and it's going to be in, because I really avoid full values. I want to put 33.97, because our entry, if you combine between 33.13 and 33.20, is going to be 25. So we are going to put 26, but our TP, we are going to hold it all the way to 34, and trust me, gold can achieve that in few minutes. You know, gold is actually very easy to achieve 34, and we'll be focusing on 34. And those are actually, when you compare between 25 and 60 and 80, now that you will be to be having here is actually huge, and that is almost a risk reward of 1 to 4. Actually, that is a risk reward to 1 to 4. Okay, that is risk to reward. That is actually even 4. A 4, that is 4. Just risk $1 to get 4. Okay, so actually, even if you are risking $30 here, it will actually be worth it, because we are risking 30 to get 80. Okay, but now we are going to put our exit there. That is what we are going to be having around that corner. Happy trading, and have a good day. I'm now signing out, and see you again tomorrow 10 a.m. Invite someone. We're going to have some other analysis. Okay.